Today, Alliant ran into situations where flooded homes had not been disconnected, which created a potentially dangerous situation. You don't want electricity and water together ever.
Yeah, that's very, very scary. And at the same time, we have to remind you that we have that Alliant phone number, by the way.
Okay.
Give that.
I think we do. But it's 1-800-ALLIANT.
Yeah, simple.
But I will warn you, I tried to call it about 5 minutes ago, and it's busy, and then I called it a couple minutes ago, it's busy, so you're going to have to be patient. But most people, I thought, disconnected their power before they evacuated.
But Alliant evidently thought that too, but they went back in today and found some homes the power was still there. So the other thing is, once the power is disconnected, you still need to have a certified electrician come in and check out your electrical system in your home and check out all of your electrical appliances, your anything that has an electrical circuit before you plug that back in and turn it on. And then after you've had that certified electrician come in, then contact Alliant again and they will reconnect your power. Right. Now, this was good news today. When people heard this, people can start showering in Cedar Rapids again on a strict schedule, though. The city is now producing water at 50% of its normal operation, which is up from the 25% it had been the past few days. Here are the new water usage restrictions that the city has imposed. On odd-numbered days, like today, the 15th, people who live in houses or homes that end in odd numbers can use the water for showering, washing dishes, and doing some laundry. On the even-numbered days, people in houses ending in even numbers can use water for the same purposes. Now, people should still not use water for washing cars and watering lawns, and as we've said, going out and washing off flood materials or anything like that, washing down the sidewalk. That's a no-no. We still need to follow these restrictions while this flood or water situation is only at 50% in the city.
Flood victims living in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City corridor have a single website to check for information. It's www.corridorrecovery.org. The site includes information on how to sign up for federal assistance, and organizers are working to add more details for homeowners and business owners. Of course, not everyone has access to a computer, but there are 3 kiosks set up where flood victims can use one. Those locations are Roosevelt Middle School, Wilson Middle School, and the Kirkwood Resource Center. They open at noon tomorrow. Then after tomorrow, they'll be available daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
And this is a valuable website. It has all kinds of information. They are adding more information all the time to it. And just for an example, we've pointed this out, but going back into your flooded home, you need to know some things, how to be safe. And there's a little thing under the residential heading there that just tells you some basic things on re-entering a flooded home. And people all over eastern Iowa can use that information too if they're re-entering flooded homes. So it's a very important website, corridorrecovery.org.
That's right. Today, Cedar Rapids homeowners began returning to their flooded out homes, and the slow process really frustrated a lot of people because after the inspection process took longer than they originally expected, they were left waiting, and TV9's Claire Kellett has that story.
Neighbors on the northwest side of Cedar Rapids find much needed comfort resting on their front lawns.
Actually just kind of relaxed for a second to feel at home.
A feeling of familiarity thousands throughout the city haven't felt for days. This is the first glimpse many are getting of their homes after the Cedar River swept through their streets.
Nice dirty water.
Brown, filthy sewage water flooded many basements, creating a cleanup effort that could take weeks.
The walls are blackish brown and it's a mess. A lot of work waiting for us.
Chris and Jesse Myers live on 10th Street Northwest near the Salvation Army. After checking in and getting a wristband bearing their address, they were able to spend a few hours at home alone.
We took off by ourselves and we just, walked home. We're a good block away, but we were just on our own after that.
The National Guard is scattered throughout the area, making sure no one is wandering the streets. The Myers say there's enough at home to keep them occupied.
We have a lot of scrubbing and a lot of hauling and a lot of just so much dirt and crud everywhere, so it'll take us a while.
The Myers, like many of their neighbors, say they will clean up and stay put. The question is where to start. Monday morning, the work begins. In Cedar Rapids, Claire Kellett, KCRG TV9 News.
And boy, that work does begin. The re-entry begins at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's not possible, though, that everyone is going to be able to get to their homes right away. We have to really emphasize that because those strike teams are going through house by house checking each home, and that's a very slow process. They want to make sure that every home is safe before they let people go back in. And police say people will be able to stay in their homes until 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, but only 3 people can go to those affected homes at a time. You have to bring an ID to check in. They will put a wristband on you that has the address of your home on it. You are allowed to go directly to the house, nowhere else. No sightseeing through the neighborhood to see how the neighbors came out or anything like that. If they catch you, anybody doing that, they will escort you out of the area. So that's very important. Just 3 people they're allowing in. If you by chance, and we have to follow these rules too. We can't just go wandering in there. We have to go with somebody to their home, and if we do that, we accompany you, we count as one of your 3 people. So you have to bear that in mind too, although we do want to go with someone desperately.
Yes.
But we do count as one of the 3 people. And also wheelchair assistance will be available at the checkpoints too.
Lynn County court operations are relocating to Kirkwood Community College's Center for Continuing Education. Offices of the clerk of court, county attorney, the courtroom, and other court processes are all being relocated until flooding subsides. If you need a marriage license, you need to file a lawsuit or other court functions like that, you'll have to wait. They're setting up at Kirkwood, but they're not ready to carry out court functions quite yet, and we'll let you know when they are ready to do that. In addition, court officials will contact people. They will contact you to reschedule any trials that are currently on the court's calendar.
Well, the Iowa River in Johnson County has been cresting sooner than anyone expected or first predicted. And that is news that they are welcoming down there, although there is still extensive damage throughout Coralville and Iowa City. KCRG TV9 Steve Nichols is live in Coralville tonight with more of the details. Steve?
Well, Bruce, like you said, I'm standing in Coralville along a flooded First Avenue. And as you mentioned, there is some positive news, a positive sign that things are starting to turn a corner around here. That is that the water level at the Coralville Reservoir has crested, and so it will likely only start going down, barring more rains up north. And that means with the reservoir water going down, that the water here along First Avenue in Coralville, as well as the water in Iowa City along the Iowa River, will slowly start to go down as well. The mayor of Iowa City called it one of those few moments when you get to kind of wipe your brow briefly, but it is obvious that there is still a lot of work to do. The view from above Riverside Drive makes downtown Iowa City look like it's on the other side of a lake instead of a river. Water is virtually everywhere. Pedestrians look like they're walking on small islands, not streets. The water looks most dangerous as it flows from the Burlington Street Bridge. The dam does add to the white water, but it's not safe to be in the river at all. The Johnson County Sheriff has barred all non-emergency personnel from boating in the bloated river. But by water is the only way some people can get to their homes. Others will have to wait to see if their houses are surrounded by the dirty, murky river like this one at Rocky Shore Drive and Park Road. The heavy rain and long winter has nearly swallowed the house. The mail isn't getting picked up. This is one house in one neighborhood. Iowa City has forced the evacuation of 600 homes. Video from Coralville. This is video that the mayor of Coralville, Jim Fawcett, took. He was given a chance to take a boat tour through some of the flooded areas, and when you're looking at First Avenue and 5th Street, the Iowa River Power Company, one restaurant that really got hit hard is Mekong Restaurant, where you can see the water is nearly up to the top of the windows there. As the cruise, the boat tour went down, he saw video. You'll see video Taco Bell and Walgreens, which is right at the corner of Highway 6 and First Avenue. The boat then turned down Highway 6 heading west. You can see how much water is there at the Hardee's. There is the movie place and Slugger's Restaurant. Again, this video along Highway 6. There was also a tractor that was sitting in the middle. So this was really our first opportunity to see the strong or the heavy flooded areas in Coralville. The Johnson County Sheriff is not letting anybody get on boats and take boat tours down here in the Coralville or Iowa City area. The mayor was allowed to do so, and he was kind enough to share his video with us so that we can show you exactly the extent of the damage on First Avenue and Highway 6. And one thing I want to mention about First Avenue and Highway 6, the Coralville Fire Department has been out in a boat this evening, and they've been going around measuring the water just to get a sense of how deep it is. And they tell me that the water is on average about 6 feet deep. It gets about 6 feet deep, and You can actually, I think you might be able to see, if we're back on a live shot, see the boat behind me as they're coming back. This will be their second trip coming back. They were out earlier. As I mentioned, the water about 6 feet deep, but they said the high point they found, and this is pretty amazing. The high point they found was 8 feet 3 inches. That's 8 feet 3 inches was the high point of the water. That's how deep the water can get on Highway 6 and First Avenue. Just a perfect point as to why the sheriff does not want people out in the water. Reporting live in Coralville, Steve Nichols, KCRG TV 9 News.
That is an eerie scene back there, Steve, that seeing that boat moving through that water at night like that.
With the single flashlight.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Steve
Yeah.
Nichols in Iowa City. We want to update some road openings. So often we say, you know, road closures. Here we have road openings. In Lynn County, US 151, Highway 13 is opened. It's the section just north of US 30 to Mount Vernon Road. And US 30 in Lynn County, both east and westbound lanes have been opened, and the section that was closed was from I-380 to Mount Vernon.
Now, our man in the sky during all of this coverage has been John Campbell, who's been going up in a helicopter every day to give us some aerial views of the flooding in eastern Iowa, especially Cedar Rapids and Coralville and Iowa City. This today is the Normandy Drive area, one of the devastated areas in the Iowa City area. We have, this was mandatory evacuation, and you can just see the homes down there, how high the water is next to those buildings.
And this is today with the crest, so this is pretty much as high as the water got in the Iowa City Coralville area.
So we're looking at some very nice homes down there that are just underwater, is the only way to put it. We showed you this area yesterday. These look like townhomes or condominiums, and a different angle today, but still just as devastating as the video we were showing you yesterday.
And those look very new. And those look very nice. Again, John Campbell hopped aboard a helicopter to get these aerials.
Going to the University of Iowa campus. That's Hancher just going out of your view there. We're moving into the Fine Arts campus. 16 buildings altogether on the campus. The Art Building West, Museum of Art, Theater Building, Hancher, Boxman Music Building, Stanley Hydraulics Labs, the campus bus barn, Iowa Advanced Technologies Labs, Iowa Memorial Union, North Hall, Hawkeye Court Apartments, Mayflower Residence, Adler Journalism, English Philosophy Building, Danforth Chapel, all of them. And the University of Iowa taking on some water, many of them taking on an awful lot of water, a lot of damage at the University of Iowa. It really took a hit. I believe that was the